Hi, I'm Rachel from Rachel Tutors Online, and today I'm going to be explaining how we can write using textual evidence. First of all, what is textual evidence? Textual evidence is anything we use from a given text to support an argument about something that we've made. Now, in general, if I were to argue about something, it would be more convincing if I supported my argument with facts or details, anything to support it to make it more convincing to you. For example, if I just said video games can be educational, maybe some of you would be convinced by just that statement, but a lot of you might think, where's the proof? So if I wanted to be a little bit more convincing, I would support my statement by using research or other findings that suggest video games can be educational. The same could be said about literature. If we're trying to write a persuasive essay or make an argument of any kind about a given text, our argument will be more convincing if we use evidence from the text itself to support our claims. A few weeks ago, I recommended reading To Kill a Mockingbird. So today I'm going to be using To Kill a Mockingbird for my example on how to make an argument and to support it with textual evidence. Let's go. Many persuasive writing assignments begin with a question, and some of those questions involve characterization like this one. What are 3 things we learn about Scout in the first 3 chapters of To Kill a Mockingbird? So how would we go about answering this question? First, we'd start with our argument. Number 1, Scout is academically advanced for her age. Now we need to find some textual evidence to support our claim, like this one. If you're going to use a quote as your piece of textual evidence, it's important to introduce the quote instead of simply adding the quote after your claim. And the easiest way to do this is to mention who is speaking. Here's my example. Scout is academically advanced for her age. One way in which this is made clear is when she says, "Reading was something that just came to me, as learning to fasten the seat of my union suit without looking around, or achieving 2 bows from a snarl of shoelaces." Here I make it clear that the quote is being said by Scout herself. Now we should explain the quote in our own words and connect it to our original argument. For example, Scout cannot recall a time when she didn't know how to read. It's something that came to her naturally, which put her ahead of her classmates when she started school. This is all my first argument about how Scout is academically advanced. I introduce my claim, I add a quote, and then I unpack the quote. Let's look at another example. Number 2, Scout is observant. How do we know this? This time I introduce the quote with some background information. While walking home with Jem and Walter Cunningham, she comments, "Jem seemed to have little fear of Boo Radley now that Walter and I walked beside him. Indeed, Jem grew boastful." Now let's unpack the quote. Scout has seen Jem afraid of the Radley house before and notices a shift in his behavior while Walter is with them, as though he has something to prove. Once again, we make our argument, we support the argument with textual evidence, and then we write a sentence connecting what the quote is saying back to our original argument. Now let's look at the third thing we learn about Scout. Number 3, Scout is naive. How do we know this? Here I introduce the quote by sharing a bit of background information once again. This is made evident in a conversation she has with Calpurnia, when Calpurnia says, "There's some folks who don't eat like us, but you ain't called on to contradict them at the table when they don't." Scout's response is, "He ain't company, Cal, he's just a Cunningham." How does this connect to my argument? Scout doesn't consider how she might have embarrassed Walter at the dinner table. Instead, she focuses on her belief that she's superior to him and doesn't need to treat him the same way she'd treat someone of equal status to her. So whenever you find yourself having to write something where you need to support your argument. This is the best way to go about it. Write your argument, find textual evidence to use to support that argument, and then explain how the textual evidence proves your argument. You'll find that this style of writing is introduced in middle school and then becomes very important in both high school and college. So the sooner you get a grasp on it, the better. If this video is helpful to you, please give it a like. And if you would like to see future videos meant to help you with your academic writing, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.